you. Thank you, Miami. Whoa. You are a beautiful crowd. You are a loud crowd. And I have the feeling that you want to see this country move toward a political revolution. Let me thank Erica Grahowski, Xenia Perez, and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard. And I want to thank Congresswoman Gabbard not only for her willingness to put her life on the line to defend our country in the military, but for her emphasis on understanding how important foreign policy is, and that bad foreign policy results in the loss of lives of young Americans in the military and people abroad. And that bad foreign policy ends up costing us trillions of dollars. Now, I just as one example, just came back from Michigan, and I visited Flint, Michigan. All of you know what's going on in Flint? In Flint, Michigan, children are being poisoned by drinking water filled with lead. Now, I don't understand how this country had trillions of dollars to spend on the war in Iraq, but we can't take care of Flint, Michigan. Now, what this campaign is about is doing something very radical. We are telling the American people the truth. And sometimes the truth is not necessarily pleasant. I wish from the bottom of my heart that I could come before you and tell you how great everything is, that there are no problems, but if I did that, I would be lying to you, and you know that I would be lying. So what we have to do as a people is have the courage to face the reality of where we are, and have the courage to take on the big money interests whose greed is destroying our economy. So let me tell you several truths that other candidates will not tell you. Number one, and I say this as the former chairman of the Senate Veterans Committee, somebody who has worked hard, will continue to work hard to protect the veterans of our country. Tulsi Gabbard and other veterans have put their lives on the line to defend our way of life, which means our democratic form of government. And I want to tell you right now that our democratic form of government is under severe attack as a result of this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision. Now, what democracy is about, you agree with me and you want to vote for me, great. You disagree, You disagree with me and you want to vote against me, that's great. That's called democracy. You get a vote, and she gets a vote, we all get one vote. But what is happening now is we're losing this concept of one person, one vote, and what we are seeing is billionaires buying elections. What we are seeing is one family, the Koch brothers, and a few other billionaires. You know the Koch brothers. They and a few of their billionaire friends are prepared to spend $900 million on this election cycle. And their goal is to elect candidates, of course, who will represent the rich and the powerful. When you have a handful of billionaires, a handful, spending more money on a campaign than either the Democratic or Republican parties, that is not democracy, that is oligarchy. So our first fight is to overturn the Citizens United decision. Our fight is to make sure we have one of the highest voter turnouts in the world, not one of the lowest. Our job is to end Republican voter suppression. You got cowardly Republican governors who are working overtime, trying to make it harder for people to participate in the political process. Our job is to make it easier, not harder, to increase the voter turnout. Next Tuesday, here in Florida, let's show the world that democracy is alive and well with a huge voter turnout. Huge. I'm talking about a huge voter turnout. See, what the wealthy and powerful want, this is really what they want. No one says this. This is the truth. They want young people not to participate in the political process. They want your friends to say, oh, politics, it's all crap. I'm not going to get involved. They want working class people to say, you know what? Nobody in Washington cares about me. I'm not going to vote. When you have low voter turnouts, then you have billionaires buying elections. And that is what we have got to overturn. What we have got to show. What we have got to show the American people is that when we don't allow the Trumps of the world to divide us up, when we stand together, black and white and Latino, gay and straight, they may have all of the money and all of the power, but you know what we got? You're seeing it here tonight. We have the people. And this is the lesson of history, when people stand together, there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Now, Secretary Hillary Clinton and I have a number of differences, and I want to briefly discuss them. One of them, in fact, deals with campaign finance. All right, when you run for president, sadly but truthfully, you got to raise hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, if not even more than that. And when I entered this race, I had to make a decision. Should I do what almost all candidates do and establish This is a very smart audience. You answered my question before I even asked it. But what other candidates do, and the way it's done, unfortunately, in 2016, what you do is you establish a super PAC, you go out to billionaires, you go to mansions, and you leave those mansions with millions and millions of dollars. That money comes from Wall Street, comes from the drug companies, comes from the fossil fuel industry. It comes from the wealthy and the powerful. That is one way you raise money. What Hillary Clinton has done is, in fact, establish several super PACs. She has raised $15 million from Wall Street. And in addition to that, she has given speeches behind closed doors to Wall Street financial institutions like Goldman Sachs. Now, here's the story on that one. She gets paid $225,000 for a speech. Now, that is a lot of money for an hour speech. I think that if you get paid that kind of money for one speech, it must be a brilliant, brilliant speech. And I think if it is such a brilliant speech, you want to share it with the American people. So Secretary Clinton has said she is prepared to release her transcripts if other candidates do. I am prepared. Are you all ready? I am prepared to make a dramatic statement right now. You all ready for it? I am prepared to release all of the transcripts of speeches. I am prepared to release all of the transcripts of the speeches I gave to Wall Street. Here they are. You got it. Now, that is how Secretary Clinton raises some of her money. We do it in a very different way. And I want to tell you something. This is really important and kind of revolutionary. Because if we want to break political dependence on Wall Street and the big money interest, the only way we can do it is to have campaigns funded by the middle class and working families. So when we began this campaign, what we said was something pretty simple but pretty radical. We said to working families all over this country, we know that many of you are hurting, but if you want to support a campaign that is going to take on the billionaire class,